Good morning everyone. I welcome all the TET aspirants for their coaching classes organized by TSAT, Government of Telangana. In today's session, paper 1 syllabus is concerned. We are going to discuss one of the basic important components of English grammar, that is parts of speech. Parts of speech, you all know, the very basic component of English grammar, but most of us have got little bit of confusion as regards the parts of speech use and identification is concerned. That is the reason why we have organized this particular coaching session for you to overcome your difficulty and confusion. As you can see in the slide, the definition of the parts of speech, although English has hundreds of thousands of words, every word can be placed into at least one of 8 groups or classifications. The system of classifying words based on their function in a given sentence is known as parts of speech. Simply, the words which are classified according to their given function in a sentence called as parts of speech. And these parts of speech are 8 in number. They are, most of you know, nouns, pronouns, verbs, adjectives, adverbs, prepositions, conjunctions, and interjections. Now, we are going to discuss about this 8 parts of speech in detail little bit. The first parts of speech comes to our mind is nouns, right? It is a naming word. The simple definition of noun is a naming word. If you would like to have an elaborative definition to this, words that name people, places, and things are called nouns. If you come across any word in the sentence related to people, related to places and things, they are supposed to be identified as nouns. Now we can see, as we have discussed, words that name people, places and things are called nouns. The following table lists a variety of nouns. As I told you, things will have several things again, like animals, objects, substances, actions and measures, like this, and qualities also. Now you see, I have given you 3 examples to each and every category. There are umpty number of examples, and it is not possible for us to give all the examples in this brief session. So I gave you some of the instances or the examples by which you can follow them. See, people, cashier, carol, boys. Places, province or state, New Brunswick or Hyderabad, New Delhi, India, etc., Telangana, lake, ocean, sea, something like this. So these are the instances for people and places. Now we look at things. The first comes here, animals, cat, dog, lion, all these things, etc., etc. Dalmatian, one of the breeds of dogs. Bug is also one of the examples for these animals. There are umpty number of examples, right? The animals which are existing on this earth come under this category called nouns itself. Now you see, objects, fork, television, car, pen, book, camera, computer, etc., etc., etc. Now see substances, iron, air, gold, etc. Actions, a race, the dance, etc., etc. Then we have measures, kilogram, centimeter, day. Qualities, happiness, honesty, beauty, sad, etc., etc. Now you see, we will get into the details of this topic nouns. Nouns can be found anywhere in a sentence. In a sentence, you will have one noun, two nouns, three nouns. Most sentences contain several nouns. Only the thing is that you need to identify whether it is a name of a person or name of a place or any thing, a name of a thing kind of thing, right. So, according to this classification itself, it would be easy for you to identify the category of that particular word in a sentence or a paragraph. I will give you one little bit clue to identify the noun here. One way to find noun is to look for the little words that what we call as articles. A, an, the, something like that, right. The naming word, the noun which comes after a, an and the, probably a noun. This is one thing that you can remember. Okay, nouns followed by articles, a, and the or the articles. This is one clue I can give you. But at times you might not have these words, right? But you can usually insert them without changing the meaning of the sentence, right? Now you see, Paul and his children visited the continent of Africa and saw some lions. This is a sentence. And this sentence we have several nouns. Paul, children, continent, Africa, lions. You see, the description of this sentence, the description of the nouns in this sentence, Paul is a noun that names a person, children name people, children of Paul, continent names a thing, Africa names a place, lions names a thing, something like that. Earlier we discussed animals also do fall under the category of things. So, in that way, lion's name here, it is a thing, it is classified under a thing. Now, you see other sentences which have several nouns. Paul and his sister went to the zoo to see the elephants. Now, you see the bold words are considered to be as nouns because they signify a name of a person, name of people, or name of a place, or name of a thing. Paul, sister, zoo, elephants. Her lawyer bought an old house in Moncton last year. Lawyer, house, Moncton, year. These are the words, nouns. Finish your work before the big game starts on TV. Right? Work. Here it is not a verb, it is a noun. Finish your work. Finish is a verb here. Finish your work before the game starts on TV. Work, game, TV. These are considered to be the nouns. See, I told you other clue here. Smiths. It is followed by the article. The Smiths lived on a farm until a week ago when the family moved to town. So, the Smiths, a farm, week, family. These are the nouns here. Ottawa is a capital of Canada and Fredericton is a capital of this province. So, Ottawa, capital, Canada, Fredericton, these are the province, these are the words. Sometimes people eat more food than their bodies need. In this, people, food, bodies. These are the nouns. French is the first language of some citizens of Ontario. French language, citizens, Ontario. So these are some of the nouns here. We'll just dig deeper as regards this nouns concern. Classification of nouns or types of nouns, right? Common nouns and proper nouns. We see one by one. First we see the common noun. Common nouns, generally it is a common noun is a word which names a person, place or thing. In general, it is called a common noun. Now you see the examples over here: waiter, teacher, dog, province, state, girl, house, car and city. So these are the common nouns. When a word names a particular or the only member of a class or group, it is called as proper noun, right? When a word names a particular or the only member of a class or group, it is called a proper noun, right? And one more thing, proper nouns are always capitalized, right? Now you see examples given here: Paul, the name of a particular person; Doberman, the name of a particular kind of dog; Telangana, the name of a particular state; and Hyderabad, the name of the particular city. All these four words are capitalized, right? Generally, when you name a particular or the only one member of a class or group, it is called as a proper noun. The third category, concrete nouns and abstract nouns, right? First we see the concrete noun. If a noun something that can be detected by the 5 senses, it is called a concrete noun. We have 5 senses, right? So if you come across any word which can be detected by these 5 senses, is called as a concrete noun. Examples you can see: the table, house, car, brain, cloud, sky. So these are some of the instances for concrete noun, right? We can see the table, we can see the house, we can feel it, something like this. Then the next one, abstract noun. If a noun refers to qualities which do not exist in real world and cannot be felt, tasted, seen, heard or touched, they are categorized as abstract nouns. They are categorized as abstract nouns. The keyword is here the qualities which do not exist in real world. Avi manam చూడలేము, వినలేము, something like that, which cannot be felt, tasted, seen, heard or touched. They are categorized as abstract nouns. You see the examples: honesty, pride, beauty, swiftness, friendship, height, speed and faith. Category of nouns, that is collective nouns. Collective nouns name groups or collections of people, collections of places and collections of things, right? Groups or collections of people, places and things are categorized as collective nouns. Examples here: team, crowd, herd, flock, audience, jury, committee and panel. If you come across words as such, they have to be labeled under the category of nouns as collective nouns. And one more important point as regards this collective nouns is concerned: these collective nouns have both singular and plural forms. Like, one committee is singular, 6 committees is plural. You can see one sentence here: 6 trials are scheduled. So, the judge called 6 juries. 6 trials are scheduled. So, the judge called 6 juries. Right? And singular collective nouns can have a singular meaning. The group is acting as a single unit, like team, it is a single unit, or a plural meaning the group is acting as individuals. Right? Now you can see with the examples given here. The jury is announcing its decision. The jury are stating their opinion. In this, the jury is announcing its decision. In this first sentence, the jury is acting as a single unit. Everyone agreed on one decision. In the second sentence, each juror, each person in the jury called juror, is acting as an individual, and there are many different opinions, deliberations, etc. So, it is how the jury is announcing its decision. In this, jury is categorized under singular category. In the second sentence, the jury are categorized under plural category. Now, there are certain other examples with the help of which you can easily identify the difference between singular collective noun and plural collective noun. The team is buying new uniforms, right? So, only team, the team are buying new uniforms. Every individual is buying a new uniform, right? Uniforms are bought and given to the team in the first sentence. In the second set of examples, the first sentence describes the situation where the team has held several fundraisers, and the team as a unit will order and pay for the clothes. Entire team is buying. In the second sentence, every individual. The second sentence reports that each member of the team will shop and buy the uniform for himself or herself in the team. This is how you are supposed to identify the difference between singular collective noun and plural collective noun. And we have the other category as regards this nouns is concerned, mass nouns. Generally, we call it as countable nouns and uncountable nouns. Both nouns can be categorized under one title, that is mass nouns or mass nouns. Most nouns refer to things that can be counted, like apples, sticks, miles, chairs, bracelets, dollars, right? And are therefore called count nouns because we can count them, right? These mass nouns are almost similar to the collective nouns, but they also refer to the non-living things which cannot be counted, right? And these mass nouns are always used in the singular even though they refer to many items, right? Some grammar books, if you refer them, they call these mass nouns as non-count nouns or uncountable nouns. You can see some examples here: meat, land, furniture, jewelry, money, food, timber, gold, clothing, equipment, etc., etc. Some words and phrases are always used with the help of these uncountable nouns. You can see some of the examples here for non-count or uncountable nouns and countable nouns. An amount of jewelry is a non-count. A number of rings, countable noun. A little meat, uncountable. A few steaks, countable. Some furniture, non-count. Several chairs, count. Less clothing, non-count. Few shirts, count, right? So, we will move on to the other aspect of nouns. Nouns may be singular, referring to one, or plural, referring to more than one, right? here we can observe, we can change the form of the nouns by adding yes in the end, so that they become plural. Most nouns can change their form by adding yes, letter yes, when they are plural. You see, boy, it is singular, S stands for singular. Boys, it is P stands for plural. Boy is singular and boys is plural. Teacher is singular, teachers is plural. Just like that, we have added yes to the teacher so that it becomes plural. We have added yes to boy, it becomes plural. So in that way, we can identify the difference between singular and plural. We'll move on to the other category of nouns. They are called as possessive nouns. Okay. Common and proper nouns can sometimes be further classified as possessive nouns. A possessive noun shows ownership, belongingness, or that something is a part of something else, right? They are easy to find in a sentence because they are always include an apostrophe, right? These possessive nouns are always indicated with the apostrophe. If apostrophe comes, you can easily categorize those nouns under the category of possessive nouns. Now, there are certain rules which you can see in this table, rules for forming possessive forms of nouns, right? Here condition and how the possessive form is going to be formed. Some examples. If a noun is singular and does not end in s, the noun should not end in s and it should be singular, right? So what is the possessive form that we are going to have? Simply add an apostrophe plus yes, apostrophe and yes to that root noun. See the example here. The neighbor is a root word. Now we have put an apostrophe here and added yes. So it is going to be changed as the neighbor's car, right? It shows, it indicates that that car belongs to the neighbor, the neighbor's car. Now the child's toys. Child is a root word, root noun, and it is not ending with yes. So what is that possessive form that we are going to do? We should add apostrophe and yes. So the child plus apostrophe plus yes, the child's toys. Gloria's career, New Brunswick's art, something like that. Now second condition to form these possessives, if a noun is singular and ends in yes, right, be guided by the way you say the word, right? See, if a new syllable is formed in the pronunciation of the possessive and add apostrophe plus yes. So we'll try to identify in this. Doris store, Doris store. So this is pronunciation. My boss approval, my boss approval. Dennis's car, witness's description, something like this, right? If adding an extra yes would make the word seem awkward or hard to pronounce, add only an apostrophe, right? Ending with yes, and if you are going to add apostrophe plus yes, if the pronunciation is going to be little bit odd, then we have to add only one apostrophe. John Hastings store. It is not John Hastings's store. Simply John Hastings store. Here in the earlier case, it is the pronunciation is not going to change. Doris stores. My boss approval. Dennis's car. Witness's description. But here John Hastings's. So it is little awkward. So we are going to add only one apostrophe. John Hastings store. Jesus parables, Philip's farm, Mary Parsons' garden, something like this. This is one condition that you should remember. The third condition is, if a noun is plural and already has an s at the end. Earlier we discussed about noun singular, but we are going to discuss something about plural. If the noun is plural, how would we go about? If a noun is plural and already has s in the end, so add only an apostrophe like the earlier case. Students' lounge, witness story, librarians' club, the Jones party, the ladies' room, something. If a noun is plural and does not end in s, add apostrophe and yes. Oxen's hooves, men's chair, plural, men is plural, then possessive, we have to add apostrophe and yes. Men's choir, women's wear, children's toys. So these are some of the rules which you can remember. So this is what we have discussed little bit about nouns. Now let us sum up these nouns. Nouns is the very basic parts of speech in English grammar. It's the noun generally tells us about the names of people, places and things. We have given several examples here: people, places and things. In things you should remember animals, objects, substances, actions, measures and qualities are also going to fall under. Nouns can be found in anywhere in a sentence. This is already we have discussed. Most sentences will have multiple nouns, right? This is also we have discussed. There are different types of nouns: common nouns, proper nouns, concrete nouns, abstract nouns, collective nouns, countable and uncountable nouns called as mass nouns, right? And singular and plural we have got, possessive nouns we have got, and the rules for the possessive nouns. I hope we have detailedly discussed about the noun and its information. In the coming session, we are going to discuss some other parts of speech remaining. Thank you very much.